Hey everybody, Lagmus Prime here, and they just did a new live stream showing off some more gameplay for Medabots card Robattle RB. I have already watched it, so there are some parts that I'm going to skip here and there, and I'm doing a live watching too. So this is YouTube. I am just going to watch this with you guys. I'm not going to pause and be like, oh, this says this, this says this. If you want me to do that, I will. I might just take some of the screenshots here and then just make another video of it, of what they say they do and everything like that. But a lot of this is going to be, I'm going to try and do a lot of this off of my memory and of what cards, some cards do and what they might do. But yeah, let's go ahead and watch this. I'm going to go ahead and skip a little bit far ahead, or a little bit ahead here, because they're just introducing themselves and stuff like that. So this is the VTuber that's doing this. This is Cheerful Bunny. And I think this is, I can't remember what this Medabot is called. I think it's just junk. I have no idea. I know I encountered them in Medabots 9 that I've been playing lately. But yeah, we get a good view here of the main menu. You get to see the different modes. There's the tower on the left there that they're hovering, and that's what we're actually going to be viewing today, is some of the tower gameplay. It looks really good. I'm not going to lie. Like I think this is even like 60 FPS, but that could just be because of the recording or something like that. So let me make sure I'm on the highest quality here. Yeah. But look, we get to see endless mode. So this is the endless tower. They do have that, and I love the pictures there too. Hold on, let me go back real quick. Take a look at that. Yeah, we have you can see, I think that's Beastmaster back there. We have God Emperor, Parallel Do, and I don't know who this Medabot is, but we'll find that out at some point. But as you can see, it even has the rewards over here at the top right. You can see what you get from getting these things, or from going through here. And I love seeing the images of the Medabots here. There's Pepper Cat, there's Cyan Dog. But yeah. So let's see. She should be selecting the mode here in just a second. And I believe it's just going to be easy mode stuff right here. So we can see what happens when you first select it. I'm going to go ahead and pause right here. So you can go ahead and see what happens when you first select in here. So this is the easy mode tower. I think she might be starting over from the very bottom. I'm not sure. But you can see I think these are rewards that you get for completing the towers. I'm guessing maybe the icon here for Rentaro is maybe just a customizable icon for your profile if you do online play. This has to be a card sleeve, I'm pretty sure. And then I think you can also unlock leader parts by completing these towers. And then I think there are some additional rewards here. Well, like this is what happens if she was to complete the second floor, if you were to complete it. The first floor here, as you can see, it's only going to have 2 barrier for the opponent. The opponent will have Frapp as their leader, a level 1 butterfly medal. Looks like the deck is going to mainly consist of fighting types, and the leader is going to have treads. The terrain is going to be bipedal, or good for bipedal, good for multi-leg, and good for wheels. And I think actually these are the rewards you will get over here on the right. You'll be getting a leader part, and you'll be getting an icon. So they're just selecting to go. Oh, you can also see what kind of deck she's using. I'm going to be honest. When I'm looking at when you play, sorry, when you watch this gameplay, I'm not gonna lie. I'm not quite sure exactly the kind of deck that they made here for Cheerful Bunny, or Cheerful Bunny made this kind of deck themselves. But it's a very like support mixed with fighting type Medabots. But as we can see here, this is how it decides who goes first or second. Cheerful Bunny's Medabot made it to the active line first, so Cheerful Bunny gets to go first. And we get to see, yeah, there's 6 barrier. The opponent only gets 2. And now Cheerful Bunny here has gotten a pretty decent hand in my opinion. And so this actually did confirm, let me just go back a second. This actually did confirm that in order to get these leg icon or leg cards, if you notice, the opponent didn't get it at all because they have treads. And our player here, Cheerful Bunny, has the bipedal legs, so they're good for this terrain, so they get these extra cards. So that's what determines what gets you these extra cards. It is the terrain that you start on. And I think there is a new Metaforce card over here to the right, the 4-cost one. I haven't seen that before. I can't remember quite what it does. I know I saw she activated it at some point during the gameplay, but I can't remember. Unfortunately, this gameplay does not actually show the usage of trap types, so we don't get to see the placement points or the installation points. But we do get some more gameplay is always good, you know. And I remember what the tactical card is that she's hovering a lot. That 2-cost tactical stock physical or fighting type card does 5,000 damage to all the Medabots, or all the support Medabots in the opponent's side. And the streamer, or the streamer is actually talking right behind me, so I do apologize about that. But I can't really find a good place to set myself on here. But we do get to see one of the new Medabots there. I don't know the name, so I'm not even gonna say it. And I'll just say we do get to see a new one. I do like that we get to see the Dragonfly Medabot. And we do get to see that there's a new leader part up there for the opponent. I wish I remember. It looks very familiar, but I can't remember the name of that Medabot. I've encountered them in Medabots 9 recently. So now that it goes back to her turn, she can decide to discard cards or draw some new ones. But now, here's where she probably could have discarded at least maybe a couple of cards, because if she was able to get at least one more Medabot here, that would give her one fighting type tactical icon or tactical stock. She could use that 2-cost fighting tactical card to just wipe the opponent's board, because it does 5,000 damage to all the opponent's support Medabots. But unfortunately, she does not have that. But I think some of these tower matches are supposed to be really, really quick, considering the fact that the barrier the opponent has is only 2. So I believe she was in standby phase, so now she's in the action phase. So this is where she can attack. And here we see the screen of where this top one is being able to attack normally. The second one here will be cross attacking. The last one will be the ability that she can use. And if you notice, she actually can't cross attack here. The reason being is because both of their energies, you see, when you cross attack, you need at least 12 energy here, because you have to add up both of their energies to attack together. And she only has 11. You can't actually cross attack here with those 2 Medabots. Now, the legs here actually is quite useful in this situation, because these legs actually reduce the cost of actions, or I think attacking, by 1 for all of your Medabots for the turn. So she can actually use that card to cross attack here if she wanted to. I believe she does. As you can see, she does activate the card, and if you notice, okay, so she has to select a Medabot. She selects a Medabot to do it. It's not the whole board, but she selects a Medabot and reduces the cost of actions by 1 for the turn. So now her ability only costs 3 to use, but she can cross attack now with the support Medabot to be able to hit the leader for 2 attacks instead of just 1. Now we do have a new tactical support card there at the very bottom. It has brass on it. I don't know what it does. I think it has something to do with I think it deals 5,000 damage to an opponent or a Medabot on the other side. Okay, now there's Icky. Icky has been used by the opponent. It increases shooting types by 2,000 for the turn, or until the end of next turn. And I will say this, the opponent gets pretty smart. Like the AI in this is actually quite smart at times. I believe it just used Frapp's ability. I think Frapp's ability is a defensive kind of ability, because if you notice, she's got the Frapp has the guard barrier around, so I guess the opponent can't attack the support Medabots now. And there's also the freezing icon, so I'm not. Maybe if you would attack it, you get frozen. I don't know.
パワーを1000増加。このターン中、このメダロットは給食冷却できない。ふむ。使ってみます。これで支援の戦術が増えましたね。はい、支援の戦術が増えました。緑が2つになりました。
So she did just play a support Medabot. I believe that Medabot increases the power of another Medabot on her team by 1,000 until the end of the turn. And then that Medabot can't be rapidly cooled.
5000ダメージ与えたりもします。アイテムだと1体選び5000ダメージ与えるところを使ってみましょう。リーダーに使える。リーダー以外にも使えます。5000ダメージなので、6000じゃない。
I need to look up and see what the oh, that's shooting type Medabot does. Seems interesting. Okay, so that tactical card does in fact do 5,000 damage to just probably a support Medabot or any Medabot.
でだ。どうしよう。本当はね、このチアのハイパーセプトをなんか活用できる方法をみんなにお伝えしたかったんですけど、ちょっとなんとも難しいんですよね。ハイパーセプトって。まあ、どういう感じかっていうのを見せますね。
Okay, so now she's using her leader ability. So we've seen this before, or at least I have. When she uses that leader ability, it costs 4 energy to use, and whenever you activate it, you get 2 support tactical cards in your hand. These cards do not come from the deck. They're just off to the side somewhere. You just get there to use them in your hand. As long as you use 4 energy, you get these tactical cards. I can't quite remember what they do. I think one involves getting energy. I think it like increases your mass energy. But we do, let me pause the video right here. We do actually get to see that this this card is actually a variant or a customizable option for her left arm. So this isn't the base one. This is the I believe it's the B type. The B type arm, left arm for her. So we don't know, at least I don't know what the base arm does. And I can't even remember what this one does either. I should have probably came a little bit more prepared for this. But honestly, it has something to do with support. Now I know what this Medabot does. Whenever it attacks, it gains 2,000 power. And then at the end of the attack, it loses the 2,000 power. And I think that is the effect that Frapp does have. So it's definitely a guard ability, and whenever you attack it, you become frozen. And then not only that, the Medabot that just attacked, she also applies burn after she attacks. So I believe what burn does in this game is it, I'll have to pause right there. Burn, whenever you try to attack, I think you lose like 2,000 or 3,000 power. But now we also get to see another version of Frapp's arm. So Frapp is also using a different variant of the left arm. This is the A type of arm. And I see it definitely has some kind of status effect thing in it. So for 4 energy, you definitely are able to apply some sort of status effect. Probably a freeze thing. And then looking at the Dragonfly, I saw the number 5,000 on there somewhere, so maybe you can activate the ability of them and deal like 5,000 damage. Like 2. I'll have to look up some of these cards. I'm just doing this off of memory because I wanted to watch this with you guys instead of just doing like a video and then like cutting all the video, but so. If you do prefer the old method, do let me know.
でしょね、そういうことですよ。はい、柏餅さんね、こんにちは。やれることが多分ほぼない。ほぼというかないかもしれない。うん。よっしゃ、終わります。はい、エンドフェーズ。捨てません。
Now this is the end phase. She actually has too many cards in hand, so she has to get rid of at least one card and go down to 5.
6枚持ってるので 5枚までにしなくちゃいけないので捨てなくちゃいけないです。
捨てたくないけど、でも使えるどころが多分この子ないっぽいんだよな。赤が3つにならないといけないからなさそうなのです。この子を捨てます。なんとも難しい。
So now the AI opponent plays Cyan Dog,
難しい。チェアが
using the ability again. So now she cannot attack the support Medabots, has to attack
これも宇野さん分かってくれたようで。
Frapp, and then the opponent actually used rapid cooling to be able to attack with the Cyan Dog right away.
クールビューティー。おーおー。凍結はどんな効果でしたっけ？
And as I said before, and I was pretty sure we should know, but I'll just say it again anyway. Those barrier cards go into this bottom right square rectangle area, which is essentially your second hand. You get to use these cards anytime you want on your turn.
置き換えることもできない。置き換えることもできない。
あ今出てるメダロット
And I believe it's her turn again, so she's choosing cards to discard to draw. And there's another new tactical card right there, that 3-cost one. Don't know what it does. I don't even think the player uses it at all this game, but I'll definitely look it up to see what it does.
攻撃を受けたら凍結。通常攻撃以外なら
通常攻撃
通常攻撃を受けたら凍結。
Now,
通常攻撃以外なら
Immediately, I already know that this is game.
っていうのが
And I believe that the player here actually does, Cheerful Bunny actually does know that this is game 2, or at least gets suggested that this is game. If they just attack with all 3 Medabots, they win.
大丈夫だって。かなり強い。でだ。今これも全部なんだっけ、クールビューティーってなんだ。
ロールビュー
But it is known. I think you do have to at least get rid of all the parts and all the barrier and then hit one final time in order to actually win. I think you might be forced to get rid of your parts. Like at this rate, if you attack with all 3 Medabots, the AI will automatically do it, which they'll get rid of both their parts and then take the final hit.
クロスファイヤーなら凍結はつかない。クロスファイヤーは通常攻撃です。
クロスファイヤーは通常攻撃らしいです。
だからクロスファイヤーやった2人とか3人が全員凍ります。
全員凍ります。次の自分のターンの開始時まで自分のすべてのメダルトのパワーを1000増加させる。また発動中それらの対象の新たな効果を無効化させる。ちょっと使ってみたいんで使っていいですか？
はい、使ってもいいですよ。はい。
発動で
Yeah, so from it seems like that Metaforce ability gives all of her Medabots at least 1,000 power, probably until the end of next turn.
もう勝てますよ。
はい。
もう勝てますよって言われたので、
I'm just gonna take a look here and see. How long does it take?
6たす4たす6は
I'm gonna skip ahead here just a little bit.
足す4足す6、16。
今エネルギー15ですね。
そしたらこれを使えばいいってことだ。
はい。
So yeah, so she did do the play. She used that to at least reduce the action cost for one of her Medabots, and now she can actually cross attack with all 3 Medabots in order to win the game.
わあ、本当だ。クロスアタックを選択。
If she didn't have that leg part, she would probably have to wait a whole nother turn in order to attack or finish the game.
わあ、すごい。わあ、すごい。わあ、すごい。あ、すごい。で けどね、やっぱ。一気にこんな、エフェクト全部つく。嘘だろ。この俺が読み負けただと、
Okay, so we do get to see the victory screen here in just a moment. Sure. And I know I think at one point she actually sat. Yeah, she sits here for this at this picture here for a moment. So I'm just skip ahead. And we do see for a basic win, looks like she got about 500, but then got a small multiplier bonus because of the level that she's at in the tower. And then as you can see, those are the rewards. She got the picture of the meta fighter and then a leader part. And oh, that looks, I just noticed that leader part, hold on. That leader part actually has a barrier limit. So can you not equip this part until you have 5 barrier left? That's interesting. I wonder whose arm this is. And then it unlocked the next floor. And the rewards for this is another. Oh, yeah, I just noticed this too. This leader actually has a 2 barrier limit cost, this part. So how strong is this arm? Like if you can't use this arm until you have 2 barrier left, that's usually reserved for something quite strong. But then it looks like they'll also get some card sleeves and the Rintaro picture. And they'll be going against, I completely forgot what this Medabot's name is, but they'll have the level 1 elephant medal. It'll be a fighting type deck with hover legs. The terrain will be the forest again. So bipedal, multi-legged, and wheels will have those cards. So this will definitely kind of promote a bit more of making various decks. Not just have 1 deck or 2 decks throughout the whole thing. You want various ones so you can complete these towers, because it looks like you can select the deck that you want to use throughout this whole entire thing. But the opponent that they'll be facing in this next one will only have 2 barrier. So the easy towers definitely seem pretty easy.
メダロッターのカードがもらえるってこと、このタワーでは勝ったらもらえますよっていうことですね。
パーツもらえます。
そう、このタワーの1階2階3階ってどんどん上がっていくんですけど、そこで勝ったところでパーツとメダロッター。
I think there's another part where it took her a little while to start the game. Yeah, here we go. So I'll go ahead and skip to this part. So the bot won that one, so the bot gets to go first. I believe that is a Hawk Dakar tactical card, so that would be. I think she does use it at one point here, but I can't remember what it does. At this point in the game, she's choosing to mulligan or not, which is putting any amount of cards that you want back into the deck and then drawing the same amount. So you could get a whole new hand if you wanted to. The bot instantly plays 2 shooting types. One of them is actually a new Metabot we haven't seen before. It is a shooting recovery type. It looks like that Hawk Dakar tactical card. I think it gives a Metabot 2,000 power until the end of next turn. So our player uses. Okay, let me go back real quick. Our player used the Meta Fighter card. And I believe what this is doing is it's giving support Metabots 2,000 power. But I think it's only till the end of the turn. So using that right here is not quite the best idea, but I do think that the Cheerful Bunny player here is still rather learning the game. I could be wrong because I think they probably played it at least a little bit, but either way, like I think they're still learning slightly, so not 100%
言い難い。
certain on everything to do.
なんともなんですよ。でも、
But the game is just new. It's literally brand new. It hasn't even come out yet, so it wouldn't surprise me if it takes a while for some things to be figured out.
モンキーもいいかな。
So they are activating the rapid cooldown on little Lacey.
すると、10消費して、うんうんうん。
ただ、相手は
うん。
ガード持ってるので、リーダー狙えない。
And right now,
困る。
she cannot cross attack into the leader straight away. The opponent actually has a blocker or a guard Medabot at the moment.
行動のコストゼロ。はて。どうしよ
さっきの使うと、
う。うん。
ハイパーセプトがゼロになります。
ハイパーセプトをゼロで使えるってことですか？
そうです。コストゼロにできるんで。
じゃあ、シュートブーストの2だけで消費するってことなので、そういうことですよね。
はい。
ちょっと使ってみよう。初めてだし。
Okay, so now she just activated Little Lace's ability. So what that does is, for 2 energy, the next ability that you would activate costs 0. So she can activate her leader's ability for 0 cost.
そうそうそう。こんな感じ。
At the downside is the player cannot rapidly cool Little Lacey the rest of the game or the rest of the turn after that.
のあれが1個増えるんだよね。ぐぬん。
And then, as you saw, the player activated the leader's ability, got 2 tactical cards in their hand.
ところで使えなかったんですけど、次のターン
Looks like she's trying to deciding that she wants to rapidly cool her leader again.
おかしい。
And it has been sold before that you can use those cards that you get that are in that rectangle to the right. You can use those for rapid cooling or any kind of discarding that you need to use.
じゃあ、なかなかに難しいことをしている。
とりあえず攻撃するしかない。
でも、6000の状態でやったら、自分にも攻撃当たっちゃいますよね。
相手が高熱状態だったら反撃食らわないので。
Seeing this though, I do feel that a lot of decks should probably have a good, or at least some kind of defender in their deck. Because if not, you'd just be able to ignore them completely and just, or the support Medabots and just all out rush the leader, it seems.
まあまあまあ。まあまあ。はい。かろうじて許しましょう。エンドフェーズ。急速冷却、ノットイコール7以降にあったコンボだから、助けるとかを使うと急速冷却にロックがかかるってことかな。
Okay, so the opponent played a
チアには何も分からなかった今。
fighting type Medabot. And I believe, okay, so the AI actually played a meta fighter we haven't seen before, and I'm pretty sure I know exactly what they're doing. So watch the rapid cooling whenever that card is played. See that? That Medabot just increased the rapid cooling of all of the support Medabots and the leader by 2. And then we get to see what the opponent leaders does. I think that's what the bind is, or whatever effect it is they just used. That effect, we'll go back real quick again. As you see, after they activate the leader's effect, if it's the arm or the leader itself, the rapid cooling went from 4 to 6. So I think this leader is meant to kind of prevent you from actually being able to rapidly cool and do those multi-attacks or multi-effects and stuff like that. And as you can see, like I said, the AI is kind of smart. Like, they're rapid cooling too. They're using abilities to prevent you from doing stuff. The AI apparently is no joke in this.
数値同じでも反撃食らわない状態なら勝てる。そう。ドアドア。こいつを、いや、こいつしか送れない。
And it appears that the meta fighter for the opponent, or the AI, it still applies to everything on the board. So it is a board-wide effect. It is not just to the Medabots that are currently there. That 2 increase to Rapid Cool will last until the end of the turn.
先に使ってれば、
Hold on. Yeah, I need to actually skip past this because I'm not sure what happened to the player, but for a good solid minute here, they just are screaming. I'll go ahead and skip to when some action happens. Okay. Alright, so now they're choosing what to do.
これ使えるぞ。でも相手2200のやつしか倒せないかな。
そうですね。でも1体は倒せるから。
I do believe that the player is getting some help from somebody else. I don't know who it is. But as you saw, they used the tactical card that did 5,000 damage to all support Medabots, or at least the opponent support Medabots. So it got rid of one of them, but since the 5,000 was not 6, it didn't do anything to the other Medabot over there on the left.
14になるってことですよね。これ。
最大値が上がるので。
最大値が14に上がるってことですよね。この子はね。使ってみる。使っても。
最大値が上がるだけなんで。
意味ないって言われた。意味ないってことだった。次の自分のターン、自分のリーダーのターン。赤が1個増える。クロスアタックにします。
I do think that the smart idea here would be to cross attack. Need to at least get rid of those barriers or some of the parts that the opponent has. But now if the player survives and the leader or the AI doesn't do anything to defend themselves, just attack with all 3 Medabots and you win. Next turn they will have enough energy to do a full 3 cross attack.
ですよね。何かここから入れる保険はありますか？
はい。急速冷却4枚結構厳しいですよね。
厳しいです。
もうしょうがないかな。
しょうがないって言われました。さっきそう急速冷却しておいたらそう3人でいけました。慌てませんじゃあ。 はい慌てません。エンドフェーズです。エンドフェーズ何もありません。
Oh yeah, and a quick reminder, at the end phase you can also play more Medabots. So if you want to, you can save your defender till the end of the turn. Now the AI just played like a really dirty move. But like that's a 10,000 base attacker, and it doesn't even seem like this Medabot has that barrier limit. I don't know, but like 10 to attack, a dual fighting and shooting, 10,000 base damage, only 2 to rapidly cool. I don't know what this Medabot is because I can't quite clearly see it, but I've never seen it before. But still, like that's a lot. And then not only that, they use the Tamer Hikaru and gain 2k extra power for shooting and fighting types. And then they use the ability to put the player leader on a 4 rapid cooldown thing limit, whatever it's called. Oh, and I just realized too that this Medabot right here, the one on the left that they just attacked with, that only costs 1 to rapidly cool. That is nuts. I've always seen rapid cool at least at like 2, at 3. I think maybe I saw a 4 at one point, but I have yet to see a 1 needed to rapidly cool before. And it did 6,000 base power. That's kind of funny. The player drew the 2 cards, two of the same cards they have in their hand. Samantha, and I don't know what that Medabot is. As I said, I wish I knew all the names for these Medabots. Eventually I will. I swear eventually I will.
一旦クロスアタック
Yeah, all the player needs to do here is just cross attack with all three and they win. There's nothing protecting the opponent at all. There's no effects lowering anything. Just cross attack with all three and there's the yeah, there it is.
あ、勝った。なんか勝てたんですけど。あらら、私の負け。ふふ、あなた案外やるじゃない。なんか手応えがない。あんまり手応えがない。なんか手応えがないです。
Alright, I'm gonna check. Okay, they don't stay too long on the screen. They'll be going to the next one in just a minute.
勝てました。
Trying to make sure that I skip all the parts where just nothing happens. Like that part where I just skipped a little bit ago. Like I don't know what happened, but I guess something happened in person with the VTuber here. They just were screaming for like 30 seconds. So as you can see, they did in fact get the card. I don't know what it means to have a barrier limit on a part card. I'm assuming maybe that means you can't equip this part until you have 2 barrier left. But still, from what I can see here, from 4 cost, there's the number 10,000. So either something is getting dealt 10,000 damage or something's gaining 10,000 power. 10,000 is definitely on there. But there's the card sleeve, and then there's Rintaro's icon.
あれ、リンタロウと
Let me see if it's in here.
のネイロ。
So I'm going to skip ahead a little bit here. So they're going to the 3rd floor. It seems that on this level, they'll be going against a Hawk Dakar leader, an elephant medal at level 1. They'll be in the mountains now. So it's bipedal, multi-leg, and hover instead of wheels. The leader will be a physical. They'll have the hover or the aerial legs. The rewards for completing this will be the leader Red Matador, a new medal, and a Red Matador icon or whatever it is, portrait. I'm assuming so.
どこで買えれるんですか？
And I think it says what you win over here on the left too. I think that 1700 is how much you'll win if you beat this last floor, because this is a 3 out of 3 floor. I think they only do 3 matches this entire game
それでは3回
or gameplay.
これで勝ったらもう終わりになりますよね。
And the leader will have only 2 barrier, or the opponent. Yeah, the opponent will only have 2 barrier.
貴様の全力を私にぶつけてみろ。退屈させるなよ。なんか
And I do like how the terrain actually matches the terrain. It's not just like it's nice and detailed too. So it's not just some basic looking picture. The player gets to go first.
いいかっこいいお姉さんでした。
And I'm going to go back real quick. If you take a look right here, you can actually see that these are the different variants. So this is Hawk Dakar's A-type customized part. And then we already know that this is the B-type part for Cheerful Bunny here. So you can immediately see what kind of customizations there are immediately right off the bat.
でした。戻すないかな。先行なので設置ができる。ラバタルファイト。これは意外とサクサク進んじゃっているんじゃないですか？ちょっと。
So our player here gets to go first.
あ、なるほど。音が変わった。
If I will say, if I was the one playing, I probably would at least do almost something like this. I would play at least one of those support Medabots, just so I can get at least 2 tactical stock to use my tactical card that deals 5,000. But there was the use of the Meta Fighter again. It gave a damage boost to the support types, but it just it's just used for no reason. And then, okay, so I don't know exactly what Erica did. I wish I did because it dealt something to the opponent or to. So as you can see, we'll go back here. You can see the AI use Erica, and then you see this effect just happen board wide, but I don't know what it does. And then Hawk Dakar's ability, it just deals 6,000 damage to a target. I will say that is some pretty easy way to get some damage without actually getting counterattacked too. I think it's I don't oh, it might be the arm that's doing it maybe. It might have the aiming ability or keyword that you can use. But as you can see, she can't really use that tactical card because it does 5,000 damage and they're all 6. So that tactical card's actually kind of useless. What that Medabot does right there is you spend 2 energy and you give another Medabot 1,000 power until the end of the turn. And then that Medabot can't be rapidly cooled. The support Medabot, I mean. So really, the player here is in a little bit of a bind. Could cross attack with all 3 and then just deal some damage. Could do that because the opponent wouldn't be able to kill you right away. And there goes the ability. When that card attacks, gains 2,000, loses 2,000 at the end. Oh yeah, I forgot. You can't cross attack. Yeah, because she only has 6 energy left, so she can either attack with the support or can attack with Cheerful Bunny Leader. I mean, what you could do here is just hit with Cheerful Bunny to the leader. There won't be any counterattack because the opponent currently getting burned also is in the heat dissipation state, so or is currently cooling down, so they can't counterattack. So that would leave the opponent with 0 barrier, and then if the opponent doesn't get rid of your support Medabots, you can just attack again and then just win. Let's see, they would be at 12, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Wouldn't be able to attack with all 3, but still at least do some damage. So what you could do here in order to win on the next turn is at least get that left Medabot that looks kind of like a monkey on the left in their hand and put that on there instead of the 1/6 cost energy Medabot that they have on the field at the moment. That way you'll have enough enough energy to be able to cross attack and hit all 3. Because yeah, if she was to remove this card, hopefully you can see my mouse, I'm pretty sure you can. If she was to remove the Medabot she has on the left with the monkey, that one on the left, so if she removed this card on the left and put out the monkey, which she just got rid of, which I think was a bad idea. If she was to do that, you would have 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. It would have cost 12 to cross attack and would have won the game right there. Now, I don't know what these cards are doing. I feel like I've seen this effect somewhere before. And I think it's like if they get destroyed or something,
えより恋愛
you have to you lose a barrier or something or a part. I don't know.
なんかすごいすごいすごいすごい
Either that or they're like taunting and you have to attack them first. I don't know.
見よ
そいつにしか攻撃が与えられ、攻撃が選べなくなるんだね。
うなるほどねでしてんこれ
But I do know that the player here struggles a little bit.
するんだよな今画面確認うん赤が増えるタイミングがない
フレームブルカン出せば、
何フレーム
一番左のメダロットを
あまあ3
出
つ
出すタイミングがあれば使えますけど、
でも他いやどうしようちょっとそれで違うのが来ることをいやいいかでこの2体しか当てることができないってことですよねこの2つしかスタンバイフェーズ
ここで
ここで変えることもできるってことですね
できますね。
こっちとか
You can tell that at least in this game that there is some like thinking involved. You do need to strategize and figure out how to overcome a lot of this
変
stuff.
えてみますでだこいつは使える
Yeah, I think she does use the Hawk car. Tactical card. So it does increase power by 2,000. I think it does last until the end of next turn. I mean, it better with a 3 costing card. Oh, and we do get to actually see what her parts are here. She has... Oh, I gotta go back a little bit. So we can see that she has what the previous Medabot that she went against, that arm. And then she has the A variant or A type of Dr. Bok Choi's arm, which has that little like... Oh god, I think it was called some kind of drone. But there's so you can have even different types of Medabot arms in your little I guess supply. I won't say supply, but like your backup arms. You can even have the different variants in there too.
もったいないもったいないらしいそしたら冷却が必要だから今手札が欲しい今手札が欲しいのかなるほど
I do need to figure out what exactly those 2 Medabots that the AI has does. I really do need to figure that out.
さっさと2人を倒しますそうしますさっさと2人を倒します確かに考えても意味なかった確かに確かにやられたぜ拉致が開かねえ何を考えていたんでしょうか
See some Milodon. There's Hoctakar just getting that free 6,000 damage and getting rid of another barrier or part. our player decided to get rid of a part, but I think that's actually really bad that they got rid of a part.
他のに変えてこう。
But we see what that Medabot does. It kind of does what it has something to do with rapid cooling. So their ability increases the rapid cooling of something. So now the leader has to have 4 cards to discard in order to rapidly cool. The Megalodon attacking with that effect, gaining the 2,000 bonus, and then losing it after after the attack is over.
右腕はなくなるとパワーが下がるよ。確かに下がっちゃった。
I think at this rate, it doesn't really matter what happens. Like I said, this is the easy tower, so these fights are probably going to be very, very easy. Just get rid of the 2 barrier and then attack with all 3 of your Medabots. And here's our player being able to choose between one of the other 2 parts. Another Bok Choy arm, so I think that's kind of funny.
ああ、なるほど。じゃあ、一応赤にしとこう。で、OK。終了で、はい。知恵熱が出そうです。
But yeah, there shouldn't be anything guarding the leader at this point. You just attack with all 3 Medabots. I think they have enough energy. 12, 13, 14, 15. Yeah, they have enough. They have 16. They need 16 energy and they have it. So.
右のやつだったら倒せ。
But it is just a bot, so you can just mess around if you wanted to.
1体でも倒せたら、こっちはバンバン剤なんで、今。で、クロス攻撃。あれかな、クロスアタックは、無理かな。あ、ギリギリだ。
Yep. Let's attack with all 3. And bam. Another win.
拍手してる。やるではないか、諦めよう。今回は私の負けだ。やったー、サクサクでした。
But I think they sit here for a little while, so I'm going to go ahead and skip ahead. Okay, so no, they got 850 out of that. So I think maybe what we saw on the left was how much they had.
面白そうですよね。楽しいの。そして次のロボットのタワーが始まるのだった。勉強になりました。よかった、勉強になったならよかった。
So I think they just skip ahead here because they do go to the end here. As you can see, they do get the card, the medal, and the icon. And yeah, the number over here on the left definitely shows how much they actually have, not what they get out of that. And it says, I think this is saying that they've cleared a level or a floor, so now they have to go to the next floor. Something like that. Or like you completed this level, yeah, new record, 3 floors.
だってしかもお見事。相手のバリアがない状態で的確に攻撃してたけど偶然
and does it go to the
偶然ではございません。そんなちゃんと考えよ。
So they'll exit out of this screen and they'll go here. And it says complete. So I think these floors have specific or only a certain amount of levels. So if we saw earlier, so this is easy, so it's only 3 floors you got to complete. And then normal, I think, is 5. And then hard, I think, is 7 floors. And then once you're done with these, you unlock or you get... Yeah, so there's 5 floors here. And it says that you can win what looks like a convex or a concave arm, another thing of sleeves, and Dr. Aki's icon. So there's 5 floors on the normal difficulty, and I think there's 7 floors on the hard difficulty, and then you go to endless where you can just play as many times as you want, or until you lose. Okay, looking at the little bar here, I don't think that they actually do anything else except for show off like some of the website stuff, picture, and like a little thing that they're doing on Twitter or X. Yeah, I don't see anything else happening. Anyway, so I'm going to go back here to the very beginning and show off, I think, what it is, the hard mode. It's over now. So there's the easy lobby. There's the normal. So there's the hard mode. It's 10 floors for the hard mode. And it looks like you can get Frap as a leader. I think that's another thing at card sleeves. And the Frap icon. I think that's for the first level. And then we get to see the endless mode where you unlock a 4 barrier limit recovery left arm. And I don't know what that is an icon picture of, but it's something. So I think the icons you do customize. Because if you look up here, we do see Cheerful Bunny's icon right there. So those are icons for like your profile or something. But anyway, so I am actually going to translate that one card at the very end there that I didn't know what did. I am back, and yeah, I do have a screenshot of what that card does, and it is translated right here. So this card, actually, what happens, it was Provoke. So for 2 energy until the start of your next turn, you gain the ability when the opponent player selects a Medabot as a target, they must select this Medabot if possible. The other action is Hold, choose one of your opponent's Medabots and bind it until the end of your opponent's turn. So they did in fact have some sort of defense, so that you couldn't attack there at the end until you got rid of those 2. So it's good to know that there isn't just this one way to defend, which is blockers. There is also these like taunting or provoking actions. But it was awesome to see some new gameplay. I'm going to go ahead and end the video here because this is quite a long one. If you would prefer that I just get the translated pictures or something like that, or instead of watching it live sort of with you guys, and you would prefer the translated cards to pop up after they would be shown on the screen, do let me know. I was just trying something new here. But anyway, I hope you have a good day, and I'll catch you later.